What up, YouTube? It's your boy Raw Dog 420 back at you with another chill ass video. Today we are going to be smoking on on the cart, and we are going to be taking blinkers, and we're going to be talking about the times I went to jail. But cheers. Oops, this thing's clogged right now. Sorry. And we'll talk about the time I went on suicide watch. But if you could please hit the post notification bells, subscribe, like the video. And without further ado, let's take this blinker. Cheers. That does not blink. This battery does not blink. But, okay, so the whole ordeal about being on suicide watch, how it all began was me and my dad were getting into it, okay? At the time, I was on probation. So me and my dad get into it. He's arguing. We're arguing back and forth. We have a shouting match. Then I start throwing stuff at him, and he starts throwing stuff at me. He calls the cops. Cops come over. The cops see I'm on probation, so then I'm on probation, and the cops are looking at that, and I just said I'm on probation. So they put me in handcuffs because they called my probation agent, and she's like, put him in handcuffs and take him to jail. Because me and my dad weren't getting along. And she's like, if you and your dad don't get along and the cops get called, you're going to jail. So I went to jail. Well, that wasn't the first time. That was my first time. And so then I sat for 5 days. Well, when they were booking me, they asked me if I was suicidal. I'm just like, if you put me in those back blocks, I'm going to be suicidal. And stuff like this, and they weren't having it, and they put me on suicide watch right up front by the guards in a cell by myself. It was a 12-by-8, and this jail was the worst of the worst in our state, I feel like, and the jail was not pleasant to be in. But the cool thing was, other than being on suicide watch, where you're stripped down, no clothes, no nothing, and when they strip you down with nothing, and they only give you like this vest, they give you this like, it was rough, it was heavy, it was not fun. It was almost like you were naked in front of everybody. It was not pleasant at all to be locked up like that. Then after all that went by, they were going to put me in the back blocks, but they didn't have a chance to put me in the back blocks. So I ended up staying in suicide watch. Then I went down to block D after being on suicide watch up front. I made a living hell for the guards because you could have tablets, and there I'm just like, okay, how do I get a tablet here now? I'm on suicide watch and I want a tablet so I'm not bored. So I annoyed the guard, and the guard's like, if you were nice and you would be nice to me, I would give you a tablet. I'm like, I'm sitting here being nice. What more do you want? So then I go back to sleep for a couple hours. Then I wake back up and I ask him for a tablet, and I'm asking nicely. Then I finally raise my voice a little bit, and he's like, well, maybe if you wouldn't be so loud, and maybe if you would just be nice, maybe I'll get you one. I'm just like, dude. And then he finally comes over and gives me one to shut me up so he could do his work. But yeah, I never liked it. And then the second time, it was for the same reason. Me and my dad got into it. The cops called my PO, and there I was in jail again. and this time was way better. I shouldn't say it was better, and I don't know because I was back in Block D again. In the when and then they booked me, and then they booked me over into another block. They put me in G. They put me in Block G with 20 other guys. The last night I was in there, I got kicked out of there, and it was a blessing, because I had to sleep on the top bunk, and this one guy was pissing me off. He was nothing but a pain in my ass this whole time I was in there. Because I was shuffling cards one day, and I must have been a little too close, and he got so pissed off at me. It's like, bro, it's like, dude, you know, it's gonna be a little bit loud in here. And he's like, well, don't jump right by me. I'm just like, I'm not shuffling right by you, dummy. But oh well. And then that night he spit at me, and then the guards came in like literally a minute after he did that, and I made a fucking scene in there, and I said, either you do something about him or I want to get removed, because I ain't gonna be in here if he's gonna spit at me. Ain't no way I'm gonna sleep in here with this faggot. And I made a living hell for the guards, and the guards like, pack your shit and let's go, because I knew I was getting out the next day. I knew I was getting out, so it wasn't a surprise. So let's take a blinker. We've been talking too much here. Let's take a blinker, and then we'll talk about the last part. But mind you, when I first went into jail that day, I was put with another person. We're in receiving, and oh my God, this guy wanted to kill Trump. This Mexican wanted to kill Trump. I was in with almost a Trump assassination killer. Because mind you, this kid thought it was a good idea to bring a 9mm with 30 rounds to a Trump rally and ask the cop, "Can I bring this in?" Like, bro, you think you're gonna get away with it? Plus, he had a concealed carry, but still, you had 30 rounds. And I didn't realize this at the time, and then I looked back at it, and then I see it. I was like, oh, shit. I was almost in with a Trump killer. I was in with a Trump killer. Because if the cops weren't to have caught him, he would have killed probably Trump. Or tried to have. He had 30 rounds. But yeah, that was scary after I realized who it was. After I realized afterwards that I was in there with a Trump killer, almost a Trump assassination killer. I'm just like, whoa. What goes through people's minds to want to do that? I mean, I guess if you want to go kill Trump because you don't like him, I mean, that's not I don't know. That's the world we're living in. That's new. But oh yeah, you see it all. And then my buddy came into jail, and he's like, "Why are you in jail?" And he's in, and I'm just like, well, me and my dad got into it, and I'm on probation. So, and he's like, so you're on a probation hold? And I'm just like, yep, I'm on a probation hold. But my buddy came in. Apparently he got too drunk and maybe hit his girl or did something. Nothing major. He got out that same day, but still, I had to sit in jail for 5 days. I did a total of 10 days in county jail so far. No, I did because I did three other days. So that would be, yeah, 13 days. I did 13 days in county jail so far in my lifetime. I don't want to go back because the food is horrible. I didn't eat. Screw that food. When I was in jail, I decided to have somebody. I made somebody snort Kool-Aid, the big huge Kool-Aid powder pack. Because they don't give you packets. Because they give you like a Ziploc bag, and it's full like this. It's like a gallon Ziploc bag full of a powder, and and I said to this one guy, because this guy was called Hillbilly. He wanted to be called Hillbilly Brian. So I said to my friend Jeremy, who was in the block with us as well. I said, hey, you two should snort a line of Kool-Aid powder. I didn't even think he was actually going to do it. I didn't think he was actually going to do it, and he decided to rail a line, and I'm just like, bro, you're stupid. You are stupid. And his nose is running, and his nose is burning, and I'm just like, you're a dumbass. But yeah, those were the times when I was in jail. And like, I wouldn't say it was fun. I wouldn't say it was bad, but I don't want to go back. Oh hell no. I mean, it's a teaching lesson, that's for sure. But the way they treat you in there is not a way of living. And some of these jails that is not a way to live. Some of these, they don't even hardly clean them. You want to call clean? It's not what you think. It's you get 20 bunks and you get everybody, and there's no walls. I mean yes, you get a big huge. It's like a big huge gym, basically, is what you're living in. With bunk beds all over and tables all over, but it's a big huge gym basically. Then you got bathrooms, and then you got your showers. Granted, you got doors, but those doors don't lock when you go take a shit. Yeah, you got doors, but they don't lock. But people are respectful. If they see feet under there, they don't go in there. So I mean, but still, I got told I stunk all the time. Well, I don't know. I wash up. I do my. I don't know. People think I didn't, because I sweat a lot. That was just me when I was in jail. But whatever. I don't care. Let's take another blinker. Cheers. Actually, let's change back. Let's change, because I'm almost out of that one. Oops. And I'm almost out of this one too. But let's finish off this one. There's a little bit left in this one that I can take some blinkers off. We're going to run this at a 3.4. Cheers. That was very warm. That tasted a little burnt. Towards the end, it tasted a little burnt. I think this is where we're going to have to call it quits. I think this is where I tap out. Hit the like, notification bell, subscribe. Until then, peace.